There are two types of people in this life. There are those of us who perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us. And then there are those of us who don't perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us. And if you are of the latter group, such as myself, then if you are not going to perpetuate the bad things that have been done to you, then you're kind of only left with trying to treat people in a good way that you wasn't treated. I don't believe you have to believe in spirits and stuff like that to kind of conceptualize what an angel or a demon is. But to me, it's really that simple, right? There are those of us who perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us, the demons. And then there are those of us who don't perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us. Actually, they try to treat others in a better way than they've been treated, the angels. Now, the demons and the angels aren't perfect. A lot of demons are pathetic, and they spend their time being devious and malevolent to not much success. You know, like I've met many people who will spend their time concocting these premeditated and calculated evil plans, and they execute it, and it's meh, no one's even hurt. Right? So you have pathetic, weaselly demons that can't even demon. And then also you have angels who don't know how to angel, but they try. And that really is the most you can ask from another person, you know? And when you're dealing with people, I want you guys to be very, very cognizant of these two different types of people you come into contact with, right? When you really, really understand this, your discernment will drastically improve, all right? It's really that simple. You know, there are those of us who perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us. And then there are those of us who don't perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us. The individuals who tend to perpetuate the bad things that have been done to us are victims. And this is the reason why a victim mindset is so unattractive. We unconsciously move away from individuals who feel so sorry for themselves, because what these individuals are doing, they build up this sorry, they build up this pity for themselves, and eventually they will feel justified in perpetuating the bad things that have been done to them onto you. This is the reason why the whole melancholic victim mindset and aura is so unattractive. All right, and this is the reason why you want to ensure you do not develop and construct this aura, because whether you know it or not, whether you're already doing it or not, you will perpetuate the bad things that have been done to you if you sit in the melancholic state of feeling sorry for yourself and identifying as somebody who has had a lot of bad things being done to them. You know, so for your own self, if you don't want to be unattractive, if you don't want to be seen as ugly, right? Forget about how you look. If you don't want to be seen as ugly to individuals, then do not see yourself as a victim, all right? And do not be a part of the class that perpetuates the bad things that have been done to them, all right? So, and when you're, in terms of your discernment for judging another person, whether this is a friend or whether this is a romantic partner, you know, you want to be with somebody who doesn't perpetuate the bad things that have been done to them. We all have a story, and we've all had bad things being done to us. We all have to suffer, endure, and hopefully overcome inequalities and injustices. All of us, we have our different inequalities and injustices. The other day, Deontay Wilder was going off on Simon Jordan, talking about his white privilege. And it's like
listen,
you got white privilege, brother.
Oh, don't start.
I ain't never had that.
Don't start my
I'm a black man with dark skin. Ain't nothing ever been given to me. I done had to kick in every opportunity.
Let me ask you, look, Derek likes this.
My black fellas, this stuff, it doesn't work, right? Because white people have to go through their own issues. They go through their own inequalities and injustices. They go through their own bad. We all go through bad. No one is excused of bad, right? We all have to suffer. We all have to endure, and we all hopefully have to overcome. All right. So the victim mindset is unacceptable. You're just not allowed to have one. You're just not allowed to have one. Don't care what's happened to you. Do not have this victim mindset. Don't develop that aura. Because as I said, you are putting yourself into the class of individuals who will, or who already does, perpetuates the bad things that have been done to them. All right. You want to be the type of individual who doesn't perpetuate the bad things that have been done to them. You know, you want to be an angel. I've met people who have gone through ridiculous levels of bad, and they believe they're now justified to be bad because of all of the bad that has been done to them. Right? And I've met people who've gone through a ridiculous level of bad, and these people are fucking angels. Like, you wouldn't even understand why they've turned out how they've turned out if you've heard their story. You know, they've got, imagine experiencing all of this bad, and instead of you sitting as developing a victim mindset, you develop a value-driven mindset to ensure that you're not going to perpetuate that badness that has been done to you. And you're also not going to stand for the similar types of badness to the people around you. Right? Our country, just people, culture in general, are lacking those individuals, the individuals who don't perpetuate the bad that's been done to them. We're really lacking that. And this is the reason why nobody's value driven anymore. Everybody's so emotionally driven. All right. So you've been through X, Y, and Z. Okay. Doesn't mean that you're now justified to perpetuate that badness to others. And you could ignore me if you want, but you're going to be ugly for it. You're going to be ugly for it. You're going to be unattractive for it. You know? There are many, many incels out here who deserve to be incels. Okay? It's that simple. There are many people with no one's ever loved them before, and you deserve it. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why you're unattractive. There's a reason why you are unattractive. Okay? Everybody has 2 chances of attraction. The first chance, you have to pick the right parents. All right. The first chance, you have to pick the right parents. Okay. That's like a lottery draw, right? You don't really have much power over that. You don't have any power over that at all, actually, what parents you pick to set up your genetic profile, whether you're good looking or not. All right. But the second chance is aura, radiance. There is a attraction that is beneath the skin. There is an attraction that radiates from within you. There is a beauty that radiates from within you. And this beauty will affect your facial muscles, will affect how you move your body, it will affect everything. It affects everything. It affects everything. This is that component that people don't understand. Why is she with him? She is so beautiful. Why is he with her? He is so handsome. These are the things that people don't quite understand. There is a second beauty that radiates from within. And what I'm trying to communicate to you is the biggest second chance you can get. Some of us are lucky enough to have both of those, but if you don't have that first one, everybody has an opportunity to acquire that second beauty, the radiance that comes from within. All right, and simply, all you have to be is a type of individual who does not perpetuate the bad that has been done to them. It will force you to be a different type of way to individuals, maybe an opposite type of a way. This is a real strength, this is a real courage, and this is a real bravery. True bravery. Okay? To forego the desire to treat others as badly as you was treated. Forego that desire and you'll be rewarded with it. You'll be rewarded for it. And it might solve your romantic issues. Not straight away, because you're going to be, if you've been like this your whole life, you've been evil your whole life, it's going to take some time. All right? And when you're looking for a partner, when you're looking for a partner, be wary of those who have a desire to perpetuate the badness that have been done to them. Be very wary of those individuals. I wouldn't trust those individuals. I mean, I have smashed those individuals my whole life, but I've never taken those individuals seriously. You know, these individuals have to be whipped and conditioned and trained into something different. I wouldn't take those individuals seriously. But if you do so happen to stumble across such a rare angel, the types of individuals who doesn't perpetuate the badness that have been done to them, then you are a very lucky person. Do not ruin that opportunity. Sign up for one-on-one coaching and I will teach you how to win over such individuals. All right, so let me give you some elite game, little advice at the end of the video. 2 things that I want you men to eliminate from your game, all right? Any signs of a victim mentality, any signs of feeling pity for the self, any side of too much compassion for the self, any signs of you identifying as a person who has been hard done by in life, you need to eliminate that. You need to completely eradicate that. The second one is any signs of superiority you have. Fellas, let me explain something very clearly to you. Your superiority complexes are simply communicated to others as inferiority complexes. I'll say that again. Your superiority complexes are simply communicated to others as inferiority complexes. Let me tell you something. When it comes to women have powerful unconscious abilities. They are able to unconsciously see truths behind lies. A lot of you fellas, maybe you're not old enough yet, maybe you're not wise enough yet, or maybe you're feeling too sorry for yourself, it's lowering your IQ. You guys don't understand that a superiority complex is always an inferiority complex in disguise, but women do. This stuff, you can get away with this stuff with other men. You can. I've seen it happen, and I used to have little superiority complexes myself when I was younger, right? And you can get away with these things with men because a lot of men are dumb and they can't actually see the shadow behind what is being shown to them, right? But women can. You need to ensure that you do not have a victim mindset and you don't have a superiority complex. These 2 things are not communicated to women in ways that you think they are. These 2 things are communicated to women as ugly, ugly, ugly. What happens with human beings is when we are unhappy with life and when we have a lot of potential, but we're unable to realize this potential in this life to ourselves and to others, when we are unable to show this potential that we have to others, we begin to develop superiority complexes. Right, and this is where it's almost like this desire and this need to be seen as superior to other people. I don't know if you've paid attention, but a big issue with society today, with relationships in general, and an issue that I actually have as well with a lot of people, is that it feels like most people don't know how to operate or function without feeling superior to you in some type of a way. So, for example, when I was younger, where I was seen as good looking and whatever, and really good with girls, the first thing people would do is, and I could see this happen in real time, I could see that they would convince themselves, okay, he may be better looking than me, he may have more sway than me, but I'm smarter than him. They would just assume that. They would have to assume that in order for them to function around me. In order for them to function around me, they had to tell themselves that they were smarter than me, because I don't know, from the TV shows that they watch or something like that, a lot of stupid people believe that people who are good looking, people who are extroverted, people who are charismatic are individuals who aren't smart, right? And then they would have to do that in order to function around me correctly, right? And then when they would come to realize that they're not smarter than me, the next thing would be that they would have to tell themselves that they were more moral than I was. They were morally superior to me, right? Most people can't actually... Those of us who are not doing well in life, those of us who haven't proven to our own selves that we are great, that we are excellent, those of us who have potential within us, but it is untapped, we begin to just lie to ourselves that we are superior to other people. And in order for us to function. And this is something that women really understand, fellas. What you need to understand is that women are well versed in low vibration. I'll say that again. Women are well versed in low vibration. Women are well versed in insecurity. Women are well versed in not feeling worthy. They know the entire landscape. They've identified in it. They've absorbed it. They've sat in it. They know this layer of hell way more than we know this layer of hell. Us men, we like to suppress our emotions, reject our emotions, deny our emotions. The women, they're not, well, they do that, but they've sat in this level of hell. They know it like the back of their hand. All right? So they understand these things. When you're not doing so well in life, you have this desire to prove externally your superiority to others. Now, the reason why this is silly is because it's silly. It's dumb. It's really dumb. You know, you could pick anything. You can cherry pick anything and say, this is why I'm superior to you guys. You can pick anything to say, this is why I'm superior to you guys. When I moved from London to Kent, when I was younger, and I experienced some racism for the first time. And it's not like, I can't really say experience racism because nobody really had the courage or the balls to say anything directly to my face or anything like that. But when I would experience passive racism and stuff like that, you know, how I would counteract superiority was by simply being like, okay, well, if I can beat you up and kill you with my bare hands, then how are you superior to me? Right, and that would that's how I would counteract superiority. When I heard some funny stuff, I would bring violence. And if I could get you to say sorry, if I can get you to apologize, if I can get you to back down, I've just showed you who's more superior, right? You know, it's silly. It's silly, you know. Another way that I would counteract people being superior to me was, well, I have a bigger dick than you. Right? You get it? It's silly, like. You could just go back and forth with this whole thing, and you know. So anyway, just an example of superiority. One thing I always say is the only people I feel superior than are people who believe that they're superior to me. Right? Those are the only people that I feel superior than. It's people who have this desire to feel superior to me. You know, if I'm around a woman, feminist type of a woman, and she's just competing against me, I feel superior to you. If you're like, oh yeah, well, you're so much better than me because X, Y, and Z, I feel like I'm so much superior to you because I'm obviously doing so much better in my life. I don't need to have this little contest, you know. I've proven things to my own self. Right? So anyway, I got distracted a little bit there. Those are two things. You can't have a victim mindset. You can't have that. The most hardest people for me to coach are those people, victim mindseted people, because it's so funny how the people with the most strongest victim mindsets have the biggest superiority complexes. It's ugly. It's unattractive. I don't see myself as superior to anybody. When I was younger, I did. But it's foolish for me to do that. I don't see myself as superior to anybody. I look at myself as an equal to people, and I want to be an equal to people. And I've been a winner my entire life. I've been a winner. I've been loved. I've been admired. I've been respected my entire life. I've always been at the top of whatever social hierarchy I've ever been in since I was in reception. Literally. And I always say that since reception because I tell you guys, I was bullied in nursery by these two evil girls. I tell you this all the time. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget how they done me in nursery. My name is Andre. They used to chase me around the little playground thing, screaming, Peter Andre, Peter Andre. Oh, it used to traumatize me. So when I came to reception, I told myself, I'm never going to lie again. And I never did. All right? But I see myself as equal. When you've been a winner your whole life, you want to see people as your equals. You do. You want to see people as your equals. You want to meet people who are as, you know, you want to. you know, because it's lonely, actually, you know, being so, you know, it's lonely any other place. You want to see people as your equals. I search for people who are my equals. I want to be around people who are equals to me, similar values, similar ways. You want to, you know, and then anybody who isn't, you kind of want to raise them up, bring them up, you know. You want to pour life into them. You want to, when I meet somebody with low self-esteem, I immediately want to bring their self-esteem up. When I meet people with low levels of confidence, I want to breathe confidence into them. It's one of the biggest reasons why I coach. You know, when I meet people who are struggling with women, I want to like give them some game so they can have that success. When I meet dysregulated people, I want to help regulate them. What else is there to do in this life? I can't spend my life trying to exert my power. I don't have any power fantasies. I can't spend my life trying to dominate people and feel superior to people. That's the sign of a loser. That's the sign of a loser. It's like the managerial class. That's why work is so crap. Being an employee is so crap, because you're going to have some kind of supervisor or some kind of manager or some kind of boss that just comes to work to live out their power fantasies on everybody else. How pathetic is that? What kind of world is that? As I said, the only people I feel superior than are the people who have to go out their way to feel superior to me, because I know you're a loser. All right, guys, if you need any help with this, leave a like, leave a comment, sign up for one-on-one coaching.